Hi there. Welcome to the recognition process for student organizations at UW-Whitewater. This video will review the process overall and how to use this experience page to your benefit. Student organizations are required to go through an annual recognition process. And in this particular case, what we mean by recognition is that the university recognizes you as a valid organization that's connected to the campus. This is the only way to have resources like reservation of rooms and facilities, free use of materials that are found in the Warhawk Connection Center, and so much more. So let's take a look at the page together. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. All right, so when you look at this page, you can see, first of all, very simply, you want to make sure you're going to log in before we even get started. So up in the right-hand corner, you'll see the person and go ahead and click on that. You'll use Google to log in, but you will use your campus NetID. So you're going to log in with your campus email address, but on the Google login page. It'll bring you back to this experience page. And then from there, you can work your way through it. So we'll use our search function, and you can certainly use that for any of the forms names if you know what they are. But we're also going to show you a shortcut in just a little bit using that. So don't forget about that search bar. In our description here, really just very basically says what the form is, but then also includes some keywords that you may choose to use. And again, we're going to go back to that in just a minute. Below the description, we have both a welcome statement, which gives you your directions and an overview, as well as a link for seeing where your org stands as far as recognition status. So that's the link you're going to go to see if your advisor signed their form or not, or if your second completed their certification, or if your president has done all the things they need to do. So that's an important link that you can find from this page. Here in the directions, you can see that we have the deadlines. So you have from April 12th to May 15th for all of the online paperwork stuff. And then the only thing that's left for everyone to do is a recognition meeting that will take place in the fall. If you're a student organization that doesn't belong to the Greek organization or club sports org categories, then you will attend a meeting with me and the student involvement staff. If you are in the club sports or Greek orgs categories, then instead we will attend your meetings, either the Greek president's meeting or the club sports training that takes place early in the semester. So we're trying to combine processes as much as we can. Below the deadlines, you'll see that everything is outlined in one of three colors. So you need to figure out which category fits you, and that's the category you're going to stick with for all of your forms. And then you also need to know which path you're going to follow. And you can see that there are three paths: the president, the advisor, and then the second active member, preferably an officer. Doesn't have to be, but preferably. And then the club sports and Greeks have a couple of additional steps that we've added to the recognition process in order to decrease your work in other areas. So we've tried to make things as streamlined as possible for you. So I mentioned both pathways and categories, and this outlines what each of those are. So you know that there are three categories. You need to pick the one that fits you best based on the definitions provided here. And then for the president, advisor, and non-president but member pathway, you have different pathways to follow. So presidents are going to complete the majority of the work. Student leader certification, a president's confirmation form. We ask that the president updates the Connect portal, just needs to be updated by one student, and preferably, really we're asking that the president is that person. You're going to sign up for a fall meeting, which is simply a Sign Up Genius link where you'll pick which of the 6 dates works best for you. And then if you're in club sports or Greek orgs, I mentioned there are 2 additional forms that you'll need to complete. And then you'll have one step to do in the fall, which is to attend one of the versions of the recognition meeting. Advisors have one step to do, and that's simply to complete the advisor confirmation form. And then that second active member, again, preferably an officer, completes the student leader certification. And then for club sports, every officer is required to fill out an officer confirmation form. So all of this is outlined here. Down below that, there are a couple of additional resources. We'll come back to those in just a minute, but I want to show you where all of those steps are. So now you know what steps you have to complete. They are all found down here at the bottom. Now, as you can see, I've already actually used the search function to just have the student orgs, non-Greek, non-club sports steps showing. So if I go back up to the top, and I switch it out and I put in Greek orgs, just as the search function says, or the description says. And then I go back down. Instead, I'm going to see the steps that are for our Greek organizations. Now notice that they are notated president, non-president. The portal is a president's role. President leader confirmation. Again, this is the president or the leader if you don't use the term president. It doesn't have to be done by your VP or any other officers. Recognition meeting, advisor confirmation, and so forth. So if I click into one of these, it's going to take me to specific directions related to this particular form. Often it's quite short. We're going to let it load. So it's going to say presidents complete the student leader certification. Here's a deadline. There's a little bit of an overview and then a link that will take you to the form. You complete the form, you submit it, and it should even automatically notate that you have finished it. You need to be a little careful about those notifications. If you look at my notifications as we go back down to the bottom, you'll notice that I have a couple checked. And those check marks are a good sign. But you need to be careful to not assume that that means that everything is in, because sometimes it's because of a form you submitted earlier in the year or for last year. So we want to make sure that you're really careful about that. And again, that OrgRec status link, which is towards the top, but also listed here, is there to help you. So a couple of helpful hints. If you're taking the student leader certification, it's going to count for any group that you're a part of. So even though it's split for presidents and non-presidents and Greeks and non-Greeks and so forth, it'll count across the board for any group as long as you're on the Connect roster for that organization. So as long as you're a member and somebody has loaded you into the roster of a group, your student leader certification will count for them. And we encourage you that as you look at the pathways that were provided, especially the president, because you have lots of them to do or lots of steps, that you try to do it in the order that's provided. It's not mandatory, it's not going to stop you, but it definitely helps in having the knowledge and the information you need to be able to smoothly move forward. The advisor form is another important piece. It is only to be completed by your campus advisor, so the faculty or staff member that advises your organization. Having this advisor is a requirement of every org on our campus. So some of you will have alumni advisors or chapter advisors from a national or statewide org, and those are really important, and you'll provide those contact information pieces for us. But what we're talking about with the advisor confirmation is that employee of the university who serves as either your campus or, in some cases for Greeks, we call it the academic advisor. And then make sure that you do take the time to log in as you begin the process. It's going to help you just keep going and being able to access all of the forms. We do require login for anything that requires a signature or that you certify that you're going to follow rules, because that helps us confirm that you are who you say you are. You may have noticed as we were scrolling through the page that there were 3 boxes that we kind of skipped, and I'm going to go back to them very quickly for you. So the first ones that you see are the Involvement Fair and the Orgs of Excellence page. I'm going to start with the Orgs of Excellence because that's a current thing. If you, over the course of this year, participated in at least one of the Involvement Fairs, attended one of our Student Org Support Series, presentations, used our UCAS video service, were recognized for this year, updated your portal, just basically the things that you should be doing anyway. If you do 8 of the 10 as listed on this handout, and actually if you click on it, it'll take you right to the series of steps, then you can apply to be an Org of Excellence. It gives you prime location at the Involvement Fair. It gives you some free promotional and some dollars to spend towards promotion. So lots of different ways to really help your organization succeed in the fall. The second box that I hope you'll take a moment to read is about our involvement fair. The involvement fair is going to be on the 14th and 15th of September. That's a Tuesday and a Wednesday. We are splitting the number of tables in half in order to use the space. So groups will pick one day to attend. Students will be invited to attend both days to check out all of the fair. You must complete your recognition process, everything but that meeting, by May 15th to be assured an invite to the involvement fair. Anyone after that, it'll be on a case-by-case basis as space allows. The last box I want to mention is our contact information. We have students and staff here to help you navigate this process, to help you understand when you're stuck, why you're stuck, if you have issues with Connect. We are the people to go to. We have drop-in hours Monday through Thursday every week, and you're welcome to stop in that way for a quick question. It's probably our best way to get you to be able to keep moving along. And then in addition to that, certainly email and phone. In the fall, our office will reopen, at least that's our plan unless campus plans change. So it's important to know that you can also stop in to the involvement space Monday through Friday normally, but right now we are focused on our drop-ins as well as email and phone. The biggest thing I want you to know is that we acknowledge the amount of extra work this is for you, for just a couple people for the group, but especially for the president. We also acknowledge that there's work that comes with this great leadership opportunity that you have taken on. We are here to help with that, whether it's the recognition process or it's helping manage your organization in the coming year. We're here to help and to support you, and know that you have super great opportunities to help this campus be the community, the safe space, and the Warhawk family that many of us know and love.